Hello my duckies, welcome back to the Boston Nation. Today we got ourselves another deck profile for you, and apologies, I woke up kind of late, so I won't be able to get 3 videos a day on the weekdays for you, but I'll be able to have at least 1 video. And now, on for the deck profile. There comes a time in every duelist's life that the format will now change. As of you all know, the format is going to change. Link fucking monsters. Yes, link monsters. It's quite annoying. So what happens is it's gonna stop all extra deck speed and whatnot. So no more OTKs and none of that other crap. But you know, kind of gets me mad. So I created this deck. BLS, as in Blackluster Soldier, Kaiju. Interesting, right? People are like, what the hell is he doing? But you know, I made it work, and it's gonna be for the new format. I played it with the new crap. Of course, I lost 1-2 because surprisingly, it's pretty freaking amazing. Let's begin. We run 3 of the man himself, BLS Super Soldier, or Winter Soldier for all you fan girls out there. So what he does is, when he destroys an opponent's monster by battle, he inflicts a piercing damage that, when the monster destroyed by it, my opponent takes the full damage equal to the monster's attack points. Also, another plus side, apologies, if this card is destroyed by battle or by card effect and sent to the graveyard, I can special summon a Gaia, the Fierce Night Monster, from my deck, hand, or graveyard. Yeah, it's pretty nasty. It's kind of good too, and it also gains the other effects of whatever I use for ritual summoning. You'll see that in a second. Now we use the little babies, bust the soldiers. Beginning Night. When I use him for a ritual summon to bring out Blackluster Soldier, he gains either one of the effects. He gains 2 of the effects, but can use them once per turn. First effect, target 1 monster, banish it. Woo! Next effect, when he destroys a monster, he can attack twice. Again, it's pretty good. That's the first baby. Second baby, Evening, Twilight, Night. I run 2. Same as the other one. Ritual summon it with the Blackluster Soldier, banish a monster, and I can also select 1 monster or 1 card in my opponent's hand and banish it face down. That's it. Pretty good. These are the 2 little babies. People run it 3-3. I learned that it clogs because I'm also running the Kaijus, so you'll see in a second. Next, for the little baby, 1 Envoy to Chaos. What he does is when a Blackluster Soldier monster or a Gaia the Fierce Knight is in battle during either player's turn, I can ditch this card so that monster will gain 1500 attack points. Also, during damage calculations, a monster that is attacking that card, that monster gains the attack of that monster becomes the attack of whatever monster I use. So that monster is destroyed and he takes 15 points of damage. Also, I can banish 1 light or dark monster and put this back into my hand. It's very situational, that's why I run it at 1. And it's goddamn cute. Look how cute this little soldier is. Look, he's going to war. Let's head on to the big boys that banish. Of course, 1 BLS. We all know what he does. Next, 1 Chaos Sorcerer. Same exact thing as BLS. Target 1 monster, banish it, but he can still attack. Next, one of the new ones that I didn't even know existed, Blackluster Soldier, Envoy of Twilight. So he's kind of tricky. For what he does is, I can declare any number of light or dark monsters in my graveyard and banish them, all of them. And then he gains 1 of the effects. If I'm not mistaken, apologies. If it's light, target 1 monster, banish it. Or if it's dark, banish 1 random card in my opponent's hand, face down until the end phase of the opponent's end phase. Well, it's pretty good. If you know your opponent got some destructive card in his hand, you can use this. Plus, it's quick special summon. Like I said again, guys, this is for the new format. This deck runs no extra deck whatsoever, and it can snatch a few wins. Now we go on to the Fierce Knights. Gaia! I run the dark one and the light one. When this card is special summoned from a Buster Blade's effect, it doubles the attack points only into that 1 per turn. That 1 turn it comes out. It's okay. Next, the other Dark Gaia is when he's in the graveyard and I am ritual summoning a monster, I can banish him instead, so he becomes one of the materials. It's okay. But you know, it will become useful so I don't have to bring out any of my knights and waste some of my banish cards. Next, Kaiju of 10,000 hands, or ritual deck, why not? This card is normal summoned. I can select a ritual spell card or a monster, ritual monster, and put it to my hand. Pretty good in its own way. Now, for the kaijus. Godzilla, help us. I run 3 Gamala. It's the weakest kaiju. You all know what he does. Tribute one of their monster. There comes a kaiju. I use it just to be that person. And for the other kaijus that I use, but personally use, is... forgot his damn name. I just call him King Ghidorah, because he literally is King Ghidorah. And Star Destroyer. Now, when I add one of these to their field, I can then special summon either one onto my field. So it's a quick special summon to kill them, lose their life points and whatnot. We all know what kaijus do. They're freaking annoying. And they will help the BLS out a lot, in my opinion. And for defense in this deck, because the deck has no type of defense whatsoever. And I can use them for rituals. 1 Necrogardner, we all know what he does. And 1 Electromagnetic Turtle. Freaking broken. Oh, it's so good. You don't know how many times this card saved my ass. Now let's go on to the spells. I run 3 Buster Blader Synthesis. This is the best ritual card I've ever seen in my whole entire life of Yu-Gi-Oh-ing. I've never seen a ritual card that did this. If I'm using this card for a ritual summon for Blackluster Soldier, I can then banish, descend to the graveyard, monster, 1 light monster or dark monster in my hand, or 1 light and dark monster in my deck, and send it to the graveyard, and then bring out the ritual. It's freaking good. It's literally a Red Eyes Fusion for ritual monsters. And I can still continue on special summoning. It's freaking ridiculous. Next, for destruction spells, 1 Twin Twister, and then 1 Galaxy Cyclone. You don't know what they do. Next, for the Dark Hole of the deck, I do not run Dark Hole, unfortunately, because I don't need it. 1 Kaiju Summoner. He's a Dark Hole, like I just said. Also, it special summons 2 Kaijus from my deck onto each side of the field. So, I would bring them, when I use this card, destroy the field, bring this one to this side, and then bring this on my side, or King Ghidorah. So, it's a benefit. Also, what I also can do, if this card is in my graveyard, other than the turn I used it, I can then banish it to add a kaiju to my hand. It's a plus side, in my own opinion. Next, pre-revision of Writs. I run 2. This helps me get out my ritual spells or monsters, either way I want it. Add 1 ritual spell card from my deck into my hand, and then add 1 ritual monster from the deck or graveyard to my hand. Those name that is inside the ritual card. I can only activate it once per turn. It's pretty good. I would say 3, but as many stuff as in here this deck, I really can't tech it. Now for the field spells. Here people are going to get really mad at me. But first, 1 Terraforming, get off field spells. I run 2 Gateway of Chaos. It helps me bring out my Blackluster Soldiers, because when I play it, activate its effect, I can add a Buster Blade or ritual card or Gaia monster from my deck into my hand. Also, each time a monster card is sent from my hand or to field to the graveyard, place 1 spell counter on this card. The maximum can be 6. Once per turn, I could then remove 3 spell counters from this card, add a ritual spell card from my deck or graveyard to my hand. I can only have it to effect once per turn. It's pretty good. And the last spell is why all of you are going to get mad at me. I activate the Seal of Orichalcos. Yes, the Seal of Orichalcos. I found out I can tech it. Did not know that I can only activate it once per turn. Like, no, apologies, once per duel. Kind of got me mad. I had plans on him running all 3 and doing some broken shit. But we all know what the Seal of Orichalcos does. If you don't, I'll say what it does anyway. All monsters on my field gain 500 attack points. Not only that, if I have 2 or more monsters on the field, my opponent cannot select the weakest one for an attack target. And if there's a tie, you just can't attack at all. Also, when I play this card, it destroys all of my special summon monsters on the field. And also, I cannot special summon monsters from extra deck. Don't use extra deck. Don't really care. And as the other effect is, you can only activate 1 silver account codes once per duel. It got me mad, but you know, that +5 in the new format would be pretty guaranteed to be nasty. Also, if it would be destroyed, it can protect itself once. So, no Twin Twister for you. Only way to stop it is kind of to pop it back into my hand with some ridiculous card effect and get me mad because it's a dead card, so I can't activate it again. And pot, whatever the hell that says. This helps me get my banished card back to my hand. So, add 3 banished monsters back to my deck, draw 1 card. It's okay. Now for the traps. I run 3 Super Soldier Shields. What this does, when a spell, trap card, or a monster effect is activated, and I control a blackluster monster on my field, negate the activation and destroy it. Plus, I could then discard one of my spell counters from the field spell to set this card right back to the field. Unfortunately, what happens is, if I use it again, it's banished. So I get to recycle it twice. So it's technically 4 of these in the deck. Pretty good. Next, just for shits and giggles, Kaiju Capture Mission. I don't use it for its effect because we all know what happens when Kaijus are used on the other side. My opponent can use them. So what I do is set it. They think it's a trap or whatnot. They pop it. I draw 2 cards. It's pretty good. 1 called the Hunted, and 1 Storming Mirror Force. And the last card, recently got it. Thank you, my friend. Urgent Ritual Art. This is a pretty good card on its own. What happens is, if I do not control a ritual monster on my field, I can then banish a ritual spell card from my graveyard, and then use this card. It has the same effects as the ritual spell card that I banish. So it becomes a ritual spell card. Pretty good, isn't it? So yeah, that's the deck. Like I said before, my friends, it's for the new format. Don't get mad at me. You might get mad for the silver account codes though. I will take your soul. Let me stop. Anyway, my duckies, if you enjoyed the video, remember to hit that like button down below. Also, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. Come on, do it. Just do it, why don't ya? Catch our duckies later. Ciao.